Hello everybody. How are we all this evening? Hope we're all going well. Just get my little here. Okay, so welcome to Craigsworldrocks, and let's try that way. Let's hit the west back. Looks like we're going this way tonight. All right. Took a while to get comfortable. Yeah, very good. All right. So welcome. Craigsworldrocks is live. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Now we'll wait for a few people to join us. I'm sure we will have a couple of people dropping in at some stage. For those who do not know, my name is Craig, and this is my world. Just like it's your world out there. Just like it's your world. You know, just like it's your world. So let's get ourselves comfortable. We do have a couple of questions, but we might wait for a couple of people to join us. I hope you're all going well. Who have we got on? Someone's joined us. What's that button do? We're just working our way through this at the moment, everybody. So retouch. Suka, hey D, how you going, Suka? Let's get this right here. Okay. Let's see here. No, that's all good. Right. Maybe it's that one there. What's our buttons do? All right. Now, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Just trying to see what I can see with our messages. All right. So, I am Craig, and welcome this evening, everyone, to Craigsworldrocks, where whatever questions we have, I will give you my humble opinion. Now, I am someone that loves to have a chat about things that a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking about. Life. Life excites me. Life is interesting. Life is bigger and more amazing than people understand. If we don't ask some questions about who we are, where we came from, what life is, how are we ever going to work that out? And believe me, it's about working it out. All right, so let's see here. We've got a question from earlier on. So it's a couple of us that have joined, and I welcome you, and we start off slow, but we crank it up, all right? Okay, so here's the first question. This comes from Money Mojo. Thank you, Money Mojo, for sending me this question on the short earlier today. How does following your personal passion help transform our lives for the better? Excellent question. Following your passion, everyone. What does that mean? Let's simplify it down, because the simplest answers are always the most correct. Following your passion is doing what you love. It's very, very simple. Do what you enjoy doing. Okay? Now, some people go, I don't know what I really like doing. That's okay. Simplify it down further. Take simple things that you've enjoyed. Even try and remember what you enjoyed as a child. Try to remember what made you smile, what made you laugh. All right. Are you sure that you want to stop screen? No, cancel. All right. Now, let us continue. I'm sideways. All right. Excellent. I can't get my messages up. Chat viewing options. Anyway, let's continue. We had a bit of a break in the streaming. Technical difficulties, everybody. All right. This is how we do it. So look, when it comes to following your passion in life, it is really about authentically connecting with our true self. Now, who is that? The simplest thing I can say to everyone out there is that it is about having a cold, hard look at who you are. It's looking in the mirror at yourself and saying, what makes me tick? What do I love? What do I enjoy about existence? What do I want to experience? What do I want to spend my time focusing on? I mean, some people love sport. Some people love to go running. Some people love competition. Some people want to investigate things like archaeology and look back at history. Some people want to get out in the bush and fossick and travel and explore. Okay? Some people like to philosophize, like myself. So it's just really about knowing who you are and accepting that strongly, but then stepping into that. Okay? Stepping into who you are, being who you are, okay? Believing in yourself. Okay, Suka, that's very good. You were speaking about, is that something you put up earlier, is it? Yep. All right. So, yeah, look, we just have to be authentic with ourselves. Being authentic with yourself is the key to actually knowing who you are and starting to live your passion. Starting to live. Now, people don't have just one passion in general. I mean, I love talking. I love speaking. I believe I can speak to hundreds of thousands of people and I won't have a problem with it. Right? It doesn't matter about the number of people out there. If I understand myself, if I have my own personal understanding of a belief or of a situation, and I'm confident within myself about what I believe, then I can talk confidently about that. It's really about seeing you for who you are and basically stepping into that. Thank you, Juliet. Appreciate the kind comments. Do I have advice for the people who are struggling with depression? Okay, so again, it's having a good hard look at yourself in the mirror, Juliet. It's about what's the main things that are making you feel like, what is depression? Why are we not feeling good enough about ourselves? Why are we getting down on ourselves? When if you were doing things only that you enjoyed doing, if you discover things that make you feel good and you start doing those, I think that's the most direct way to start working through the depression. Depression, you can get caught in that. Yeah, I understand that, and people can get lost in that. I think it's because they simply aren't remembering who they are. I think you've been probably caught up with what society wants you to do, and it doesn't give you a feeling of self. It doesn't give you a feeling of joy, okay? You need to find the joy, Juliet, like everyone. We've all got things that we think they're joyous to us, they're exciting for us to go and do. But you can start really small, okay? You don't have to, if you can't come up with something that's a major passion for yourself or something that you really want to be doing all the time, but you've got little things that give you joy, little things that make you smile. Like, yes, going for a walk in the local park or looking at wildlife. Those things remind us who we are. They reconnect us with the planet Earth, which we're a part of. See, when we disconnect, when we get a long way away from who we are, that's when you feel lost. I don't know if you've ever been lost from your parent when you're a child and the person starts to panic. As a child, you panic, that's my stability, my mum, my dad, whoever it is that I've lost the connection with. And we start to, get fear building up because we don't feel comfortable in our environment anymore. We feel all not at ease, okay? I know that's not depression, but depression is probably not knowing who you are for a long period of time, where you think you're on the right path, but you're just not getting that re-energized feeling, right? You're not getting that, this is making me feel good, which is pumping me up again. Find the small things. Find the small things that make you smile, Juliet. I mean, when you sometimes when I go to the shops, right, I'll do the food shopping for the family and I'll be out and I'll have one of those trolleys where, you have to take it back to the store, but then I'll spot someone that's, struggling to get their bags or whatever. I'll often give my trolley just straight to a person to save them walking over to get a trolley. Just tiny little things, right, to say, here you go, that'll make it easier. Off you go, no problem. You've got to treat people the way you want to be treated. You've got to find the joy. You've got to create the joy almost, through what you do and who you are. Because let's look at when we're children, right? We all like different things. Some kids like playing in the sandpit. Some kids liked, digging holes in the garden. Some kids liked eating the dirt. Some kids like playing with Play-Doh. Some kids like drawing pictures. Some kids like talking and throwing things around the room. And some kids like to drink their milk and curl up in the corner. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to know who you are at the core. You have to be authentic enough and honest enough to know what you want. Now, every passion that you go down, every small passion that you do, whether it's taking an art class, whether it's going for a walk in the bush, whether it's going for a gym session to work out, whatever that is, if you enjoy doing it, that will lead you to, you keep doing it until it's not joyful anymore. But you will find that will lead you to the next passion. It's like a path of opening up your life to get better and better and better. When we get down on ourselves and we feel lost, we actually go the opposite way. Depression and these things that people go through, it's when they're not following their passions, when they're doing what they feel they have to do, and it's a grind, and I don't enjoy it, and my boss treats me badly, and why am I even living this life? You start heading down that line of questioning, is there anything good for me? There is. Look, at the core of everything, and this is where you've also got to get to, you've got to understand that you are the boss of you. You create what happens to you. Now, you might not consciously do it at this point in your life, but subconsciously, and before we even came here, I'm a big believer that we've set this life in motion and we're trying to get the most out of it that we can, right? So once you understand that you are the person that's in charge of you, then that's a big realization to take away a lot of that darkness in your life, a lot of that fear. Because it's not some imaginary being out there that's choosing and making everything happen to you that says if you don't do this, that, or the other, you're going to have this, that, or the other happen to you. Okay, Suka, we've got a question thrown up. So it's almost like let's have a look here. Where are we? Live chat. All right, we've missed that question a bit. It's really about trusting in you, that you often get in your own way, right? We all kind of go down the path of wanting lots of great things to happen in our lives, but our belief systems will block better things from being created. You've really got to step out of your own way. Money Mojo, if I have a bad thought, I change it to a positive thought. Okay, Money Mojo, yes, changing your bad thought into a positive thought is exactly what I'm trying to get across here. That what you put out with your thoughts is the beginning of the manifestation process. That's the first thought. Before you go to sleep at night, you don't want to be thinking negatively or fearful thoughts, because when you drop into that dream state is when your most powerful manifestations take place. You really want to be going to bed, like the old saying, don't go to bed angry, right? Because you want to be feeling very positive within yourself, so that you're creating positive, you're having positive thoughts, and those positive thoughts come to fruition. You know, you can't just create the good. You can't just accept or say to yourself, hey, I accept that I've made all the good stuff happen in my life, but the bad stuff, nah, that wasn't me. Because it's all or nothing. To actually take control of creating your own reality is to accept the good, bad, and ugly, that they're all the same. How would you help someone that is struggling? I don't know how to help them see the light. For starters, whatever is going on, it's not the worst thing that's going on in the world. There's always someone that's probably going through worse. So that's something that I'd start with people, to make them realize that, hey, we can get through this. You can get through this. You know, you have created this situation to test yourself, because you're a powerful individual that believes that you can. Otherwise, you wouldn't have created the situation to go through in the first place. We have to understand, I suppose, or individuals have to come to the realization eventually that we are actually in control of the good, the bad, the ugly, like I was saying. All these things that are there. Once you understand that you have decided all of those things to happen, then you can take ownership of yourself and stop putting out the negative thoughts. You know, it's really important to understand what's the most important value that you want to pass down. That it's not an imaginary being out there making everything happen to us. That we are the magnificent beings of the universe. We are God, Goddess, all it is. We are basically, we live forever. We're pure light vibration, and we expand and learn forever. That's our existence. So if you get to a point where you actually believe that you've proven that to yourself, that when you put a thought out, then that happens. Because if something happens that you put out and then it happens to you, you've just proven you create your own reality, which in turn proves that this is an illusion, that we work in this space to expand and learn and grow our awareness, our knowledge, our love, our gratitude, our everything about who we are. All the things that you want in your life they're there. They're already there. This is a realm that we've created for ourselves. We've taken away our memory of not remembering who we are so that we can learn and understand what it's like to be a human that believes that they don't have any power. We do. We have plenty of power. We have unlimited power. And the next few years, people are going to be waking up to who they really are. And it's probably going to spin a lot of dudes out. It's going to, basically freak a couple of people out. You have to try and make them how to help themselves. Yes, Money Mojo, you do. You definitely do. Okay, so let's change tact a little bit here. There was another question earlier that I wanted to talk about. Here's the question. How do natural gemstones work? So natural gemstones are another tool, something that we can use in this reality, something that can give some people real comfort in, helping us to remember who we are. See, because we are light beings. We are beings that are made up of vibration. We've all probably heard of auras. Auras are the extension of our vibration that some people have the ability to see auras on people, but you are made up of your chakra centers, multitudes of colors, energy and vibration. When it comes to natural gemstones or semi-precious stones called crystals, all natural stones hold a level of vibration. It is stable. It doesn't go up and down. Natural gemstones are light. A statement I was told when I had a mentor many years ago, he told me that crystals were frozen seeds of light trapped in time for our own purification of our own light vibrations. Now, what does that mean? So you have, here's a little clear quartz. Let's just have a look at this. Right? It's one of my little beauties. So see the inclusions inside there. They're all phantom inclusions, etc. They're formations. They form rainbows and crystals and all types of things inside the natural quartz. It's a beautiful stone, this one. I often sit with it, but it's clear quartz. Basically, aren't there stones that will help with depression or being more positive? Anything that is getting a person depressed, their vibration has dropped right off. So basically, when it comes to lifting our vibration, all right, or taking our vibration up to a level of I feel good about myself, I'm a good person, crystals can help with that. All natural stones hold a high level, clear level of vibration in the area of color that they resonate. So natural stones trap a pure vibration. The crystals they don't hold emotion like a human being. Okay? So human beings hold emotion. So we go up and down on our emotional roller coaster, where a natural stone says, I don't have any beliefs, I just feel good. And I'm clear and I hold my level of vibration constantly. Now, when you have a natural stone near something else like a human that also has multiple levels of vibration, this particular stone will connect with a particular area of vibration within the human. Now, I have emotions. The crystal does not. If I have a blockage in the same area of vibration where this stone vibrates, what happens is my vibrational area will lift to the same level as the stone. It will lift. Now, that's like opening the door, all right? That's like opening the door within yourself. Now, if you have a blockage in there, what is the blockage about? Well, when your vibration lifts, it opens the area. In turn, a person might find that they have a memory of something comes back from when they were a child, or something that happened to them wasn't so good, or some type of belief that was put upon them that they don't need anymore. It's basically helping that person see why they're attracted to this particular stone. All right. So when your vibration lifts, then the stone will actually naturally absorb any of that blockage. Now, the human being has the opportunity then to let go of whatever that issue is that pops up. Everything behind the physical is that, when we have blockages or lower levels of vibration, we basically, the low vibration represents basically an issue that they're hanging on to, that person is actually hanging on to. So the natural stone will automatically absorb the blockage in the area it works within you, and then you have the opportunity to release the belief or the situation that's coming up that you've held on to for a long time. I'm a big believer that if you hang on to some negative stuff, either from a trauma or different situations, if we don't eventually let that go and accept it so we can let it go. Because the only way you let go of something, everyone, is when you accept that it has happened to you. Just absorb that thought for a second. If you want to actually deal with an issue that you have or a negative belief that you have, you need to accept that it happened to you so you can let it go. If you don't accept it and you're like, I hate that person, I really can't stand them, you are hanging on to that trauma. And so the blockage stays. Now, the longer you hold on to a blockage, this is how humans create a physical ailment. So eventually something will happen to the physical to again make yourself pay attention so that you go back in and hopefully realize that you need to clear this area of blockage. Because it's all about us clearing our blockages. Everything is about us learning to clear and bring our resonance back to clear and balanced. It is not about being high with the angels. It's about being purely authentic and accepting. Once we understand that we're in charge of our own world, what we put out is what happens to us. Once we understand that, we have to then learn to accept that if that's the case, I've created these blockages. So once we realize where these negative memories and things that have happened to us as people, once we remember them as adults, often that is the time where we can then finally let them go. Because a lot of things when they happen to people as children, with trauma and things that happened because we were a child and we couldn't stop getting the strap from that teacher because, hey, we were too small and we had no control over it. When you're an adult, that situation might have taken us to an understanding of, me going through that helped me to realize X, Y, Z. And so that situation as a child led me to learning X, Y, Z. It's not about it happening now. It's not about everything now. It's about being able to step back and see the bigger picture. The bigger picture being our lives, right? Our whole lives. That we are in charge. There's only two ways. Well, there's three ways you can look at life, okay? You can believe that some being out there, i.e. a religious God maybe, something like that, is in charge and he makes everything happen to us. So we really don't have a say. So that's a pretty scary thought because it doesn't really matter what you do. You're probably not going to know whether you satisfy that particular situation. You can also believe in nothing. You can believe that nothing exists, and once this freaky life where we really don't understand anything comes to an end, so does your awareness or consciousness or everything along those lines. Or you can believe that you have chosen to come here and you are in charge, and you actually make all these decisions, and you have chosen to put yourself through all this for your own wonderful expansion, for your own, wonderful existence. People need to actually work this out for themselves. People need to understand that, or not to understand so much, but to prove to themselves, like, you can prove this to yourself. It's not a blind faith thing. When you create your own reality, when you prove that you create your own reality, it can be done, because I've done it. Once you believe it in your soul, once you believe it, no one can take it away from you, because you know it to be true. You know. But I don't know too many people that follow, there's a lot of people that believe in certain things, and, they're comfortable because they don't want to investigate too much. They'd rather just, believe it because it sits with them, and that's as far as I want to go. But, I've never been one to believe something blindly. There's got to be some proof involved. And I suppose that's what metaphysics is. It's the science of spirituality. That's how I look at it. It's proving it. It's proving it. I mean, that's what it is, right? It's proof. So, there's a lot of things we can show. Here's a wand that I made many years ago. Yes, I do believe in the afterlife and death. It's my rocket wand. It's a beautiful prism on top there. You can see down that. All joined with 4 different stones at the base, making it look like a bit of a rocket. Ameturine, blue lace agate, which is very rare these days. Rhodochrosite, and a piece of tiger iron, which is a really beautiful stone, tiger iron, and not, an ameturine is part citrine, part amethyst, for those who do not know. Blue lace agate's the blue. That's all about emotional stability in your expression area, and rhodochrosite is about letting go of the past. So this rocket wand is a general feeling that it takes a person that's trapped in there. Something's got them, a real strong hold on them in the past, and this brings them back into the now. The rocket wand, beautiful. Been with me for a long time. Well, Monday nights are not necessarily, do you sell the wands? Oh, look, I've got a couple of wands that I've made over the years. I used to sell a lot of the wands. Yeah, but, not really out there selling them now. A lot of them I've made myself, and I've also had contacts over the years of people that made wands from overseas. But I'll quickly explain to you here, because there's no rush on now on session here. But this wand is basically, or they're natural stones. So it's made with natural stones, so crystals here. The base or the shaft of this wand is all copper, and that's all copper welded to surround the stones. And then up here, that's all copper, and it's all gold plated with the banded copper to hold on to when you meditate, etc. But what it does is that copper, a true wand maker understands that copper connects vibrations together. So this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of crystal in this wand. But the vibration of this wand is 1 vibration. So they are not individual vibrations anymore. It is the creation of a unique level of vibration. So it will hook in to a particular vibrational level in an individual that, unless someone's used those 5 stones together in a meditation, you won't be able to connect with without this wand. Wands are amazing tools. This is, from my understanding, it's back in Atlantean times where copper was the connecting metal that didn't corrupt a vibration of a natural stone. It connected them all together and created a brand new vibration, unique to itself. Beautiful, right? So, yeah, something that I was into when I was a lot younger, when I was into crystals, then I found out about wands, and that you could create unique vibrational tools that took you to a really unique area of vibration. So you could open up a level of vibration that very few people ever get to do without the tool to assist them to do it. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get there without the natural stones helping you. You can. And, you know, there are infinite levels of vibration to connect with. But, yeah. Basically, they're beautiful. I love them. Love tools. Look, guys, it's been a really fun chat. I do believe that Monday nights is a bit less, not as many people running around. So, you know, we'll see what we do next. We might try Wednesday night. We might do one on Wednesday night. We'll have a chat then. I'm going to work out the way these screens go too, because that didn't really work tonight. I think I should have had it upright. Anyway, wouldn't let me do it. Very good with technology, Craig here. Look, I appreciate you guys kicking in and having a listen. Obviously, this will get posted, and we will see you on Wednesday. But thank you all for listening, and I appreciate you all, and enjoy the next few days. And I'm going to regularly do these live, so we'll talk about different things. So think about more questions. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.